Good morning. If you can hear me, please just give me a yes so I know that my audio is working. Just want to make sure that's working. Looking for a yes.
I hear you, but I don't know if they do or not.
I'm waiting for a yes.
Yes. Oh, I see a yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So my name is Amanda Robinson, and today we are going to go over Screencastify. I am going to go ahead and move that. That way you can see just me. Whenever you are ready, you can put in your attendance. This is only for Livingston Parish employees, but it is great so that you can get towards those door prizes. I am going to turn myself off and put on my presentation. Okay. Amanda, is that coming out okay? See everything?
I don't see your presentation. I just see the avatar of myself, my picture, and I see you.
Okay. There we go. All right. I think we're ready. Does that look good now, Amanda?
Yes, I see your screen.
Okay, yep. Great. Thank you. Moderating for me today is Miss Amanda Jones. So you got two Amandas for the price of one today. Woohoo! So today we're going to be going over fishing to make your own videos, cast, and we're going to be going over Screencastify. I know some of us had to get a badge in that, so we may be a little bit familiar with it. We're going to go more into the ins and outs of it, as well as how you can use it in your classroom. Here is that attendance code again. You can put the QR code in through your phone, or you can go to tinyurl.com/LPPS attendance. Again, this is from our Livingston Parish people. Door prizes. I'll give y'all a few minutes to get that done. Okay, so again, I'm Amanda Robinson. I'm currently teaching 5th grade math and science at Doyle Elementary. I've been there for 12 years. I'll be going into my 13th. I do have experience teaching 3rd through 8th grade, and I've even tutored pre-K through college. I am on the technology committee at my school, and I'm pretty tech geeky. During this YouTube Live, if you have any questions, there's a chat underneath, which I think most of you have found. If you want to shoot any questions during the presentation for that, and Miss Amanda Jones will get those to me, and hopefully I can answer them. You can also do shout outs to any friends or colleagues that you see watching. And I'd also like you to tell me where and what you teach. During this presentation, if you have any ideas for implementing Screencastify in your classroom, why don't you put that in the chat too, so we can all brainstorm some ideas together. So a little bit about me. I am born and raised from St. Bernard Parish. I'm married. I have a wild boy toddler, B4, next month. Oh my gosh. I'm addicted to coffee. I am a math geek. I like to do math for fun. I always wish I could go to space camp, and I love arts and crafts. So that's a little bit about me. If you want to drop anything in the comments about you, that'd be awesome too. So what is Screencastify? It is a free Chrome extension that lives in your browser. The parish has actually paid for it to be unlimited, so you don't have any minimums or maximums for what you can store or record. You're able to record, edit, and share videos of your computer screen or just yourself. And we're also going to talk about how you can use it with a document camera today. Mind blown. You can share your videos via email, embedding a code into a website, putting it on your YouTube channel, posting it on Google Classroom, and more. The beauty of it is that it automatically uploads to your Google Drive, so you don't have to save it on your computer, which also makes it a lot easier to get to Google Classroom if you can simply pull it from the Google Drive to assign. So there are lots of things that you can use Screencastify for. This is just some of them. I have used it primarily for subplans. When I was out for a conference, I was able to teach through it, and the kids were able to watch it, and it was more of a self-paced learning for them, and then they had assignments through Google Classroom for that.
Amanda, I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have to have a special code or anything for the unlimited recordings, or do we just log in using our livingstonschools.net?
You should be able to just log in through your livingstonschools.net.
Okay.
And it should be unlimited through the parish.
Thank you.
It's also good for reteaching or remediation, and can be used if you're into Google Forms or Microsoft Forms. There's a such thing called branching that would allow you to have the kids answer a question, and if they got it wrong, it could shoot them to you on a video going over that problem again. That helps with remediation as well as scaffolding. Video of directions. How about we make a GIF of how to do something on the computer so we don't have to keep repeating ourselves, and then share that out? That would be awesome. That could be for parents or students. You can also give students personal feedback with a video. And if you are inclined, you can even allow your students the freedom to create their own. They can narrate their own presentations or even just read to you to practice reading fluency. So why use it? Well, there are other options like Flipgrid, and I love Flipgrid as well. But unlike Flipgrid, Screencastify will automatically save to your Google Drive. I don't need a code or anything like that. It can be easily posted in Google Classroom, and if you had a YouTube channel, you could post it there as well, and even make a playlist and share it to the kids. You don't need to sign in as long as you are linked and synced to your Google account, which is that at livingstonschools.net. And I'm going to go over that in a second. And even if they deny it, students do want to actually see and hear their teachers more than someone they don't know in a video. So that's another good reason for using it. So before you start Screencastify, you want to make sure that your Google account is linked and synced. You'll notice up here in the top corner, I see my little Bitmoji, which is my little image I had added. And if I click on that, it says that my sync is on. I can't show you this, how to turn it on or off right now, because it would boot me out of the whole Google Chrome's presentation, so I can't do that for you. But you always want to make sure that when you are in google.com, this is there, as well as what would be right here. So if you look at this picture, you see I have an A there and an A there. If those two are there, you should be linked and synced. And if you're not sure that you're linked and synced, you would just click on your little name or your initial and make sure that the sync is on. If it's off, it'll tell you, and you can click that I want to sync it. The reason for doing that is because this extension right here for Screencastify was pushed out through the parish, and it goes to all livingstonschools.net accounts. If you are not linked and synced, you probably won't see it. So you want to make sure that that is the case. Also, linking and syncing allows you to easily save it to your Google Drive. So if you are linked and synced, make sure that that is there. And if you are just now linking and syncing, it may take a few minutes for it to pop up, okay? I'm going to go over some tips for recording. You want to make sure you keep your videos short, bite size, okay? We don't want to do an entire lecture on Screencastify. You want to minimize dead air by being prepared and pausing when needed. You want to use your webcam for a more personal and engaging video. So your webcam is going to allow those kids to see your face. You want to have an introduction and a conclusion to help students retain info. Only record what you need. We can always edit, okay? You can even start over from scratch. If you started and you went, I don't like that, you just start over. So don't worry if you make a mistake. Okay, so again, this is that icon, which you can see up here on my screen. And what we're going to do is we are going to create a video. So I am going to go to, there we go. The first type of video that I'm going to do is just a webcam. So this would be good for student feedback, or if you just wanted to explain something, the kids could also use it to explain as well. So you'll see webcam only, and you have some options here. You want to make sure your microphone is on, but for this broadcast, I'm not going to be able to because I'm afraid it might echo back. And then right here, you want to make sure you're using your webcam that you have. If you click on more options, you have an option to do a countdown. So you could go up to 10 seconds and you'll get like beep, beep, beep. And we'll show you that in a second. So that could help if you are trying to prepare yourself before you get on camera. So I'm going to do a webcam only. Again, you want to make sure that the microphone is on, but for this broadcast, I'm going to have to make sure it's off. And I'm going to hit record. And you should see this, and you're going to talk blah, 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 blah. And then when you're done, you're going to hit stop. And what this means is it is trying to save it and load it up. It may take a few seconds, especially if your internet is spotty. And it's taking a little longer than I'd like. Okay, so another tab is going to open up. And here is your video. If you're watching it, you want to make sure you unmute it so that it looks right. At this point, you're going to probably want to name it. Okay, and let's talk about sharing. You have different options here. You can share directly to the classroom. I would not necessarily advise that because you'll probably be putting it as an assignment with some other things in there. This is going to make a separate assignment for them to watch that won't necessarily be added to anything else that you wanted to give them. So in other words, if I wanted to have them watch a video and then answer a Google form, I don't want to use this button because then I'd have to go in and edit that. I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit. You can publish to YouTube if you have your own channel. You can embed the code into a website. You can generate a QR code and then send that out, and that will give them a shareable link to watch it. You can even upload to Edpuzzle. So if you like Edpuzzle, you can use your own videos to do questioning. That would be great for scaffolding as well. And you can also share on Remind, and it'll send them out a direct link to the video. Up here, some other options. Right here you see private. Unlisted at livingstonschools.net is going to be a good choice if you want to share this to a colleague, such as another, like your partner teacher. Unlisted, right here, people who have the link can view it, is what you might want to send out to parents. So if I click this, and hit copy share, it's going to copy, and now I can email that to parents. I would just paste it into an email, or I can send it through Remind to them. Okay, I am going to delete this right now. We're going to get to editor in a little bit. You'll notice that once I'm done, all of my recordings are right here, and I'm going to show you where that also can be found. So if you are in your drive, after you make your first video, you'll automatically get the Screencastify folder, and that's where all of your videos live. And you can access them at any point and edit them and things like that. You won't be able to edit them through your drive, but you can edit them through the extension at the top. Okay, so let's do one now with a document camera. When you do a document camera, you want to make sure that your document camera is attached via USB to your laptop. If you have a Ladybug, I'm going to show you what cord you need for that. My document camera already came with the cord. But right here, after you've plugged it in, you should have your webcam, and then you should also have an option for a video camera. This is my document camera. So if I click that and click record, there's my document camera. So if I needed to do something for manipulatives, or I needed to work out a problem quickly for them, I could do that and post it. I'm stopping my video. And again, it opens up here. Now, if at some point I go, I don't like this at all you do is hit delete and start over, okay? If I'm looking at this and I realize that I want to clip it, I can clip it right then and there, and it'll save the trim. Yes, I want to trim it. And there's my new video as a trimmed copy. Okay. So now let's look at desktop mode. Let's go on video. So desktop, this is going to give them access to or visibility of everything on your screen, okay? This is great if you're going to be demonstrating something like this where I'm going from tab to tab, or I have to open something else. Browser tab is only going to give you the option to show one tab off of your internet, okay? So if you're going to be going between tabs, you want to make sure you're using desktop. You can embed a webcam, so I can also be visible while I'm doing that. I am going to take the microphone off for this recording, but you would want to make sure it's on. You also have the countdown options, and now you have drawing tools. So you're able to write on top of your recording. And you also have the availability of turning on system audio. So if there is something that you wanted to play, let's say, off of one of the tabs, you could put system audio on and then play that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit record. And I'm going to choose my entire screen. There's my countdown. So as you can see, I'm over here in the corner for the kids to see, and I can move myself around if I want. Down here are your drawing tools. So if I pick a pen, I can write on it. My eraser. Right here, if you use this, you can, this is like a pointer tool, highlights the clicks, I'm sorry. This is pretty cool if you wanted to highlight, kind of spotlight what you're going to be clicking on. That's great if you're doing an instructional video, like how to do something or how to log into something. That would be beneficial. I'll turn that off. And there we go. When you are done, you're going to hit stop right here. And I think it's taken a little while to load. I will show you this real quick. This is that cable that you would need if you're doing a document camera. It's USB, and then it kind of looks like the one that you would use for a printer. So this portion goes into your Ladybug, and this goes into your laptop. Okay, did not load my tab as quickly as I like, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and I can show you where you can get to your recordings from there. Hope everybody's enjoying their morning. At least it's not raining today. Or not yet, anyway. Miss Amanda, do we have any questions as of yet?
No questions at this time.
All right.
I'm pretty wowed. I didn't realize you could use a document camera with it. That's pretty interesting.
You can use a document camera with Flipgrid as well. I did that during quarantine, but I looked into it more with Screencastify, and I think I'm going to use that for it as well. You can piece videos together, so I could have myself, like as a webcam, talking, and then have another clip of the document camera, and then have another clip of a presentation, and put all of that into one.
I'm going to have to try that out.
All right. Well, since that's not working, we're going to go to the folder. This is my Screencastify folder in my drive. I'm going to refresh it and see if it's sitting there waiting for me. Internet is slow, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. There it is. Let me click on it right now. I think it's still loading. All right, we're going to move on. So we talked about webcam only, and then webcam as a document camera, and then also desktop with an embedded webcam. The last one I wanted to show you was browser tab. So if I click here, and hopefully it pulls up a little quicker than it did before. So did anybody get any inspiration on how they could use that in their classroom? Anybody want to share out what you could use this for? All right.
I was thinking just as from the librarian point of view, when I get in my new students and I want to show them how our books are labeled and how to find books on the shelf, I can always show them how to use the card catalog online, but having that document camera and making little clips with Screencastify to show them how the book's labeled and kind of looking around the library, I'm thinking I'm going to use it in that way.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'm thinking some videos for how to complete an assignment in Google Classroom, because a lot of them are not used to that I'm getting. So maybe just some little snippets of this is how you click on this is what happens, that kind of thing.
Definitely. That'll help some parents too.
Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm not sure what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is, while this is freaking out, I'm going to go to a Google Classroom, and I'm going to show you how you can take those videos and assign them. So right here, I have a date. I'm going to go to Create, Assignment. It could be a material, but in this case, it'll probably be an assignment. And then I might put whatever the title is for this assignment. Might be multiplication. Okay, let's say it's that. Now I give my instructions. Watch this video, do this activity. Here's your Google form, something like that. When I go to press add, since those Screencastify videos went straight to my Google Drive, it's going to be very easy for me to add it from here.
Casey Goodson from Live Oak Junior High read in the comments that a lot of the teachers are making welcome videos because they're not allowed to be, the students aren't allowed to come on campus for orientation.
Absolutely. I was thinking about doing that on my virtual classroom, like having a hyperlink to a video of me talking to them and just kind of explaining myself a little. I think that would be helpful.
Pamela
All right, that video finally pulled up.
Oh, sorry. And I hope I'm pronouncing Pamela's last name correctly. Pamela Clavin said she's thinking of making a video and putting in the QR code in her newsletter for parents each week or month so they can see her explain some of the things that are upcoming.
Oh, that's an awesome idea. That's an awesome idea. And if you have a website, like a Google site, you can even embed it in there. So that would be helpful too. All right, so I'm going to assign this. This is a recent one, but if it's not recent, like you came back to it later, you would just go to My Drive and then look for that Screencastify folder, which is right here. I'll open that up and then choose the video that I want to share to my kids. Say I want to add this one, and then I'll hit Insert. And they are going to be able to view it. You want to make sure that you don't want them to edit or make a copy or anything like that. So just view it. And you can change your points or anything like that. You can even assign it to just certain kids if it's more of a remediation due date. And here for topic, I'm going to add it to that day that I'm assigning it. Again, I'm adding it to the day that I assigned it. And then I'm going to hit Assign. So there's that assignment. When they open it, it'll look similar to this to them. They won't be able to do that, the class comments for me anyway, but they would just click on this. And it'll bring them to the video. However, I think right now it's trying to open it in my Google Drive because I'm logged in, so I'm going to turn that off. They would be able to pull it up and watch it from there. So just one more tip before we move on about that folder, okay? In your Drive, when you find the Screencastify folder, if you want to save yourself time, right-click on it, on the folder, and go to Share. If you share your entire folder to people with, let's say, at livingstonschools.net, you won't have to worry about sharing rights for every single video. That's something I learned the hard way. I would send stuff out to my kids, and I thought I was sharing it to them, but the whole folder wasn't. It became a problem. So if you want to share any videos to the kids, I would suggest that you change the settings on the Screencastify folder. And right here where it says get link. So if you send a link out to the kids, you want to make sure that either it's going to be this option, Livingston Parish Public Schools, so they would have to have be logged in under their @livingstonschools.net account, or you can just go with anyone with the link. I chose anyone with the link just in case I wanted to send something out to a parent as well. And then you always want to make sure that this is on viewer. Okay.
Amanda, we have a question.
Yep.
So Chris Roberts wants to know, just to clarify, earlier you did not advise sharing your video to Classroom. Is it better to create an assignment from your Google Classroom and just upload the video?
Yes, I would not share through Screencastify to my Google Classroom, because it's going to make each one of those videos an assignment. And especially this year, we're going to probably want a video and then an assignment and then let's say a form underneath it. And you want all of that to be as one assignment, I think. If you do it the other way and you try to go through sharing it directly through Screencastify, it's going to make it a separate assignment, and you won't be able to combine things as easily for an assignment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I have mine as anyone with the link, and I have viewer. And I would copy that if I needed to share the entire folder. I'm not going to, but if I set this link this way, that way I'm assured that my kids aren't going to have any problems opening any videos that I send to them. Again, I learned that the hard way. All right, we are going to try the browser tab now that I think the internet is cooperating. So browser tab, you have the option to do microphone. Again, I am turning that off. And you can embed a webcam if you want. You can also do drawing. Tab audio is that you want to be able to play audio from that specific tab. So if you had a video or anything that you wanted to show in your recording, I know that sounds weird, but you would be able to do that here. And I'm going to make sure that that's on webcam. Again, you would want to make sure your microphone is on, especially if you're using webcam. I'm going to hit record. And as you see right here, it is only going to be recording this tab that I have open. That's what that little box means.
Can you pause the video while recording and come back to it?
Just trying to pull up. Yes, and I'm going to go over that in a second. Thank you for reminding me. So right here is my web cam. You have the same tools over here that you did. If for some reason you want to just pause it, you just hit pause. And you can resume whenever you're ready. So I think so. Yep, there we go. So my video right now is paused. I think internet's a little kooky. Yep. And whenever I'm ready to resume recording, I'll just hit the play button again and it'll start. This right here, this little button. So and if I use that button, I can take my webcam off or on. It's pretty neat. I'm going to hit stop, end recording. And I'm waiting for it to load. There we go. Okay, so right now it says it's saving to my drive. And here's the video. You can see everything there. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how to edit. Okay, so let's say I have this video. I'm going to change the name of it. Just put test tab. Okay. If I click in open an editor, it's going to fire up the editor. All right, welcome to editor. So here's my video. Okay, I can play it. I can listen to it. For this purpose, we are going to do some editing. So here's my entire video down here. Let's say I got to this point and I decided that, no, that whole front section needs to go. When I click in there, you see this line? It's going to cut right there if I allow it. So if I hit cut, it has now broken that up. And if I didn't like how the beginning was, I can click on it, see how it's in yellow, and then just hit delete. And now it starts from where I wanted it to start. So you can do the same thing from the back end. Say I didn't want this section right here. Hit snip, cut that off, delete it. Okay. You also have the option to crop. So if I'm looking at my video and come on, say I'm right here. If I hit the crop button and I had something up here that I didn't want the kids to see, I could just crop part of the video. And that would be the only part that they see. Let me show you what that looks like. So see that? It cropped out all of the stuff that I had over here from the entire screen. So when you hit crop, it's going to crop whatever you have for the entire recording. Okay. You can also add text. So let's say right at this point, I wanted to type something to the kids, like maybe a website that they needed to go to or directions, anything like that. You would hit add text. You're going to notice a little flag pops up that's telling you that you have text right there and you can write something. Okay. You have some other options here. I can make sure that it's centered if I want. I can move it up or down to the top or the bottom of the screen or in the middle. And if you think it's not going to be seen very well, you can use this button right here to put a background on it. Let me do that first. So now it'll be kind of defined in the video, easier to see. Of course, obviously you can change the size and you can change the font. You can bold it, italicize it, underline it. You can change the color of the font, all kinds of stuff. So if you needed to have some kind of written direction or instructions or something in your video, the text button is going to be your best bet. All right, once I am done editing, I'm going to hit export. Oh, by the way, there's an undo button, so if you make a mistake, it's okay. I'm going to export. You can export as an MP4, which is going to be downloaded to your computer, or you can export to your Google Drive. I would suggest using this one. It saves room on your computer, and I'm going to name this tab. Save. So in my Screencastify folder now, I'm going to have my original video, and then I'm also going to have the one that I just edited. Let me go to the drive for that. Screencastify drive. So you see both of them are named the same. This is the WebM, which means that it wasn't edited. This was directly done in Screencastify. If I edit it, it becomes an MP4. It makes it easier, I guess, to share if you were sending it out as a text message or something. But for our purposes, we probably won't. We'll probably be using it in Google Classroom, in which case WebM is perfectly fine. Okay, you don't have to change everything to MP4. So this video is going to be longer than this video. And if I want to share this one, I can click share and send it to someone in particular or get a link. However, if I'm going to send it out through Google Classroom, again, I want to go to my classroom and add an assignment. We do that through classwork. And I might title this test tab, whatever. Drive. It'll be in recent, but if you're not in recent, you can go to my drive and open up your Screencastify folder. Again, you don't need to make that folder. It does it automatically for you. And right down here are my 2 test tab videos. So if I wanted to send them the entire video, or if I wanted to send them the cropped and edited video, okay? So let's say I wanted to send that one to them. Always make sure it's on view. All right, one more thing I wanted to show you in here, in Editor. Let's say I've made several videos and I want to piece them together. You can do that as well. So I could hit this add clip button right here, and it would probably be in my drive in my Screencastify video, Screencastify folder. Open that up, and yeah, I'd like to add, let's say, this video to it. And there it is. So now I have 2 videos, and when I go to play it, it's going to just merge them together. Okay? Just like that. And when I hit export, it's going to make that into one file. So you probably want to rename it. So I'll show you what that looks like. Export. Export Google Drive, and I'm going to put merged video. Obviously, yours would be something different. Processing. Do you have any questions, Miss Amanda?
No questions at this time, but Casey Goodson says she loves that merging, and Christian says cool. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. All right, so here's my merged video. When the kids open it, oh, it's being processed still. I'm sorry, you'd have to wait. When the kids open it on their end, depending on what it is, still processing. Okay. This one might work. When the kids view it on as an assignment, it'll look a lot like this. So there's nothing really on the sides or anything. They just have this one video to look at. They can pause, rewind, fast forward whenever they want. That works with self-pacing. Okay. Another thing I wanted to show you was making a GIF. If you're unfamiliar with what a GIF is, it's a very short video that's on a loop. So I'm going to do this as a desktop, let's say. Maybe I wanted to do some directions for my kids. Microphone is not really going to be beneficial for a GIF because it's going to be so fast and fast-paced that I would not even use the microphone for for a loop video. Okay, you're basically just going to show them how to do something. You don't need to really put the audio on. You can use the highlighter or the spotlight button on Screencastify to show them exactly what to click. Okay, so I'm going to hit record. Oh, let me cancel that. I didn't want my webcam in there. I'm sorry. No webcam. Record. So I went ahead and stopped it after I recorded it. It was very, very brief. It's going to open up, and then you're going to have the option to export as a GIF. When you do that, it's going to be a download. So as you can see, I'm watching this 9 seconds long. That's perfect length for a GIF. Down here for download, you can export as MP4. That again will go to your computer. You can just download the, the .webm version of the file. But right here, export animated GIF. It's going to automatically try to size it for you, and that's okay. I'm going to hit export. And it's exporting my GIF. I should have titled that, but I did not. I hope while y'all are watching this, you've got some good ideas on how you can use this in your classroom. So I'm going to download that GIF. A GIF is an image, so it can be placed in any kind of document. It's not technically a video. So you could put this GIF in a Google Doc, a Word doc, Google Slides, you name it. Okay, because it's considered an image, so it's easy to insert. I'm going to put this as GIF. Again, remember, see it's saving it as a GIF image. Save. If I wanted to view that, I could click on it just to see what it looks like. See how it loads and opens in Photos. I'm wondering if it's still processing. Okay, well, I'm going to show you how to put it in something. So let's say I had it in, document, let's say, and I wanted to add a GIF in there. Go to insert. Ooh. Internet. I'm going to insert an image, and since this was downloaded to your computer, the GIF, you're going to upload from computer. I'm going to find that, which is right here. I'm going to open it. And now you have a GIF in a document. So you could have this above your assignment that you want to say, let's say it was an essay or something like that. You could have a little GIF of what you expected maybe, and then have the topic underneath, and they could reply to it. If you wanted to give them directions on hyperlinks that you had underneath, this would be a good way to do that as well. Okay. So let's talk about how we can get to videos to edit later. So let's say I recorded it and 2 days later I decide I need to go edit it. If you click here, right here, my recordings, it's going to open up another tab. This is not in your Google Drive. This is through the extension. You can see every video. Okay, I can delete from here as well. If I click on one of them, now I'm back to the ability to edit it right there. Okay, and this is how you would get to those other methods of sharing and downloading. You can't get to these options through your Google Drive. Your Google Drive is basically there to share it out to kids, not edit and download. Okay. Let's talk about how we can use a video in a slide presentation. Here's my presentation. I'm going to delete the stuff out because I'm just going to insert a video. So this slide could be part of your presentation where there would be information for them, and then maybe a video that you recorded could be added directly in here. It wouldn't have to be a separate assignment. So you can insert video. And where our videos were stored in the Google Drive. And I can look for those videos. Let's say I want to use this one. Select. And that video is directly in there. And the kids would just hit play. At this point of putting things in presentations, this is when I realized that I needed to make sure that that Screencastify folder, the folder itself had the correct sharing permissions on it, because I had kids that could get into the presentation, but then they click the video and it would ask them for access. Okay, so it's important that you set that folder, because you're not sharing this directly to them. You're putting it in a presentation, but if they don't have access to the files in the folder, they won't be able to view the video on your presentation. You'll notice too, through Google, you can set a start time and an end time. So let's say you want the whole video, but you only want them to watch the first 10 seconds. And then on the next slide or a slide later, you want them to watch the next 10 seconds and so on. You could do that. That's pretty cool too. Okay. Let's talk about, we went through that, went through countdown. In the presentation, which you should be able to have a copy of through, well, you'll get a copy through the website for the parish, but you'll also have access to it in the description below in the YouTube description. Here's a list of a lot of keyboard shortcuts. So if you're recording and you don't want to use the little buttons down here to get to things quickly, these are shortcuts that you could use to quickly get to those things. So if, for example, if I wanted to stop recording, but I didn't want to go press the button, I could just press Alt-Shift-R and it would stop it for a minute. Same thing with pausing would be the P. Those are just some good tools to use if you're recording and you don't want to keep going back and forth to hit the stop button or the pause button. Talked about where it's going to be recorded. We talked about naming it and editing it. We talked about what the different editing options are, your snip, your crop, your text. We talked about exporting. Again, you don't have to edit the video immediately. It's going to be stored in your Google Drive, and then you can edit it later through that extension up here. We talked about sharing our folder. Again, this right here will share immediately to your Google Classroom. I would not suggest you go that route unless you're going to make that video its own assignment, okay? If you're going to add other things to the assignment, like a video and then a PowerPoint or something like that, then you probably don't want to choose that. We talked about how to share. You can also share with parents. Okay, so there are different ways that we can share. We went over Google Classroom, Google Slides. You can also go through Google Form and add a video into that. I won't go into that right now. I did want to show you how to put it on Seesaw. So I'm going to go to my Seesaw account. Sorry, guys. I should have had this up first. Okay. Let's just go in this way. Okay, don't have any classes.
While you're waiting for that to load, I was going to say Albany Middle Hornets says, thanks for all of this. This is great information. I'm definitely going to share this video link with all of our staff. Excellent.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. All right, I am in Seesaw. This is not my other account because I cannot remember the password for some reason. But you would go to Add, Assign Activity. And if you're creating a new activity, say this is multiplication. It's called multiplication in my head for some reason. And then I type some kind of instructions for them. Add voice instructions. Right here is where you would be able to put that video in. I'm going to go to Upload. And again, it's saved in your Screencastify folder. So just go to Google Drive, unless you have it as an MP4 and save to your computer. I am going to click on this one and select it. And there's my video, and the kids can watch it from there. So they would be able to click on this, and then it would pull straight to the video. Another option you have, which just found out about, is if you're in Seesaw. Oh, no, don't do that. you had, oops, let's go back. This is where I wanted to go in the template. So let's say you were doing some kind of template, okay? And you had, I don't know, whatever here, you were drawing or something. Right here, if you go to link, if you have that as a YouTube video, you can insert that URL right there, and that'll allow them to access the video that way as well. Okay. So if we go into our videos right here, remember this is the way that you can access for editing. And I'm going to go to my recordings. And let's say I want to pick this one. Remember how we talked about the more options right here? If you click on share to remind, it's going to open my Remind account. I have to log in. And automatically it's in there. And it's as a view. So I can then select recipients that I want to send that video to. You can schedule it or you can send it right then and there. Another option is to upload it to Edpuzzle. You're probably going to have your Edpuzzle through your email. I just have mine set up like this. And then click on the button to start uploading that video. Yep, that's what I want to do. So when this is done preparing, I'll then have a video that I made that I can add questions to and then assign to my kids. It looks like it's going to be preparing for a little while. Okay, so again, you can share through Google Classroom. Again, I would not suggest you share through that button. I would do it through the actual classwork tab. And this video will also show you how to add it to a slide presentation if you need that. We talked about sharing to Seesaw. You can automatically put that video in as a multimedia instruction or example through your Google Drive. And then our other options were discussed here through Remind, through Edpuzzle. I'm going to see if that loaded. It did. So I'm in Edpuzzle right now, and I'm looking at this video. I'll play it. Pause. Let's edit it. Play. So you can even edit it in Edpuzzle if you'd like. So that's pretty cool. And if I press this questions button, let's say I wanted to stop right there, I could add a multiple choice question right then and there for my video. And because of Edpuzzle, they would have to stop to answer it. They couldn't fast forward to get past it if you enable it that way. So, do we have any other questions, Miss Amanda?
No questions.
Okay. I'm going to give everybody a few seconds in case they do to get them in before we wrap this broadcast up. I know we're on a little bit of a delay.
I know I learned a lot of stuff.
Good. I'm glad. Do appreciate y'all joining me today. Even if you are watching this later, because we all have different plans today and lives that we lead.
Pamela Clavin says, this was great. Thanks.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that that was helpful. Okay. In the presentation, you'll also see a user guide. And I have lots of links through the presentation too for like that instructions from Screencastify. So if you need like a printout or sheet or a printout sheet or something for that, you could do that. At this point, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to put up the survey. It's tinyurl.com/LPPS Tech Week. And there's also a QR code. I'm going to take one moment to switch that to a banner that's different. If y'all could just give me a minute. There we go. So
Connie Courtney says, thank you, loved it.
Awesome. I'd appreciate any feedback that you can give me so that I know how to better present going forward. And if you have any ideas about anything, if you want to shoot that into the chat, I would appreciate that. After this broadcast, I'm going to go back and look at those so I can get some feedback and some ideas that could be shared out as well. If you have any questions after this or you're visiting us after the live presentation, you can always email me. My email address is on the screen. You can also follow me on Twitter. I have my Twitter handle there. And if there's no other questions, we're going to go ahead and end this broadcast. And I would like to thank everybody for attending. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week before we start back. Thank you, Miss Amanda.
You're welcome.